Hey, beautiful mama. Welcome to the Radiant Mom Rising podcast, where we believe you were never meant to just survive. You were born to shine. I'm your host, Mary Dibble, life coach, mom of three, and your biggest cheerleader in creating a life and business you love. Each week, we dive into real conversations about mindset, motherhood, healing, and purpose, helping you break free from overwhelm, rediscover your worth, and rise into the confident, radiant woman you were meant to be. Because when moms rise, the world rises with us. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get ready to rise together. Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ivy, I'm here with Ivy. Oh, I'm so excited that we met recently at a networking event, and now we're getting to have this amazing conversation on the show today. So, Ivy, let's get started. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, good morning, Mary. I'm so excited to be here with you. This is awesome way to start the day. I am a Christian, I'll tell you my tag. I am a Christian confidence coach that helps people to feel seen, heard, and understood in business and in life. And I'm just very excited to be here.
I'm ex-
I'm going to be studying to become a therapist. And,
Oh.
and I'm just so excited to go give back, but give back in a mighty way.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I love to hear people's journeys and their stories. So tell us a little bit about what, your journey has looked like that's led you to be in the coaching world.
So I've been in, as far as being a business coach, I've been in business for over 33 years, four successful businesses. I was the treasurer at one of our businesses for the past 18 years. And I sat back and I said, but
Wow.
I want to give back to people. It was a beautiful, cushy job. I worked with my wonderful family. They're sweethearts. And I'm still helping them. I'm kind of like the eye in the sky, so I get to still have fun there.
Yeah.
And then as a life coach, what I do is just simply sit with people, make actionable steps that they can be excited about.
Yeah.
So as opposed to therapy that works in the historical part of our lives,
Yeah.
I work alongside them, I walk with them, and we just keep knocking out goals and having fun while we're doing it.
That's exactly what it's all about. And it's powerful to have that kind of support alongside you because it's so easy to talk ourselves out of things when we're trying to do it all on our own. So I love meeting other coaches and hearing about your story. Now, I know you're very Christian based, so tell us a little bit about that and how you were able to implement that into your work.
Well, I love God, but I don't beat people over their head with the Bible. I think that's just so obnoxious, you know. I just love coming in with the perspective of how can I be a bridge in life? How can I serve? How can I give back? Because as a mom, a three-time mom, and three-time grandma, the village absolutely poured into our lives. And when I see someone struggling in life or in business, that just ignites me with ideas and what can we do? And let's come together. Because I mean, if we do well, right, we're going to turn around and we're going to help somebody else, or maybe another business or another mom. It's not easy being a mom.
Oh, yes, especially that's one of the reasons why I do these conversations because I really want to encourage moms, no matter what season they're in, to take steps and just kind of work towards who they're becoming and don't wait until their kids are out of the house and do it now. No matter where you are, even if have your kids gone, okay, well, let's reconnect with who you are and what your vision is, and let's, like you say, create those aligned goals that are going to get you there and get you the results that you deserve. That's waiting on you, right? So tell us a little bit about in your experience. I mean, you've been in business for a long time. So what would you say is in some of the challenges that you face that you would like to maybe share like examples or just something to kind of showcase like how you navigated through it?
I love taking somebody and just listening to their story.
Yeah.
After I hear their story, a lot of times I'll hear it peppered with but and maybe and tomorrow. And so I zero in on maybes and tomorrows and all of that, and I just unscramble it for them. And for example, a lot of business owners think that they have to have a website, business cards, the whole team, payroll. You don't. All you need, and I'm going to do a visual here, even though we're audio in some
Yeah.
parts, is a phone. That's it. You need a phone and one app and a desire to do it. Once you start really honing in on that product or service, and you're making money, that's when you go ahead and you start working on the website and doing it little by little. Like, for example, I love coaches. I'm always hiring them because I want to hear the next best thing. And my coach clearly told me, Ivy, if you want to start a business, you can take 6 months and drive yourself insane getting the website, the cards, the all the marketing, all the craziness, or you can take a year. And I chose the year, and that was the best gift that I could give myself.
Mhm.
And so fast forward to today, I gave my 2 weeks notice to my treasurer job last month. So now I'm full time, on fire, ready to go. I want to hear somebody tell me, hey, do you think I should start a business? Because the truth is, I'm overhearing about the layoffs. I'm overhearing about financial insecurity. The gas prices is high and all this craziness
Yes.
when we can just make something. These earrings, that
Mhm.
one of my clients made them. They're
Ah.
adorable. And she would just dream up stuff and she had her little side gig. Again, another mom. I used to put jewelry together when I was a mom with 3 kids and I thought I was, going to go nuts. How am I going to get them to school and the project and get all my work done at the same time? But you know what you can do? You just fight. If you fought for your first breath of life, you can do it. And I'm the girl that stand alongside you and remind you, everybody needs a cheer team. And I speak
Yes.
Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's even better. That's definitely neat. I wish I could say I spoke Spanish. My husband does, but I do not. So, but
It's
that's
just
all.
helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but no, I love your vision. We're very similar in that journey of really knowing that what's possible, and we're so passionate about helping others to see what's possible for them as well, and like letting it unfold. It's such a privilege to actually walk alongside your clients and see them getting inspired. I always get the feedback that, oh my gosh, Mary, you energize me so much. And like they just
Yes.
jump on it. And that's my goal. Is
Yeah.
like after the call, I want people to feel so fired up and like, I got this and we're going and I have all this like ideas now that I can start implementing and then they just take off with it. And I'm like, yes, that's what it's all about because that's what's going to get you everything that's actually already done. It's waiting for you to show up for it. But so many of us, like few of us, unfortunately, take the action to find it and see it and show up for it. And I think it's beautiful to be able to be that person to help them and also for it to happen to us. So tell us a little bit about like some of the things as a mom that you feel like you navigated while trying to figure all the things out with business.
Well, that's when the life coaching kicked in. I
Ah,
didn't know. I
I,
didn't know I was a life coach. I just finally got my certification 2 years ago. However, all my life I kept reminding my kids and my community, because I was always giving back anyway. I'm a giver. And I would just tell them what I see in them. It's just like I see in you, Mary. You're so pretty. You're uplifting. You are a giver. I barely know you, and I can already tell these things. As a mom, you know how moms would pick up stuff, right?
yes, we do.
So I want people to know you can do it. You want to know why? Because this world beats us up all of the time. I saw CNN this morning. It wasn't fun. I know what this world can do to a soul. And that's where my little God thing goes in because we're both body and soul,
Yeah.
body and spirit. And so we have to be able to connect, get together, get our cheer
Yes.
team together. I'm big on that. Everybody needs a cheer team,
Yes.
especially when you're starting or being in the middle of a business. You need that person to say, Mary, you got this. I
Yes.
believe in you. Look at you, girl. You have your podcast. Look at
Yes.
how professional you are. And your spirit is what people are feeling is the truth.
Yeah, I love that. And it is. And then you know what's I think it's my favorite part about this because I feel like when you work for someone, it's like you have to kind of like have a professionalism, of course.
Oh,
You're a little bit of who you are, but when you're a business owner and you really get to be authentic and get to show up as who you are, I think that's beautiful. I mean, I think we need that more in this world, and especially as things are becoming more AI generated and there's just a lot of noise going on. People are craving the realness of people's stories of showing that, we're not alone. Like, hey, yeah, I hear this person's story and I'm like, I can feel that. I can relate to that because this is what it's all about. You guys, life is unpredictable. And my goal with my clients and with everything I'm working on is like, I just want to set you up
in a way that you're so grounded in who you are and your beliefs around what you're working towards that when those challenges show up, instead of like spiraling, instead of like going back to the whole like, screw this, I'm giving up, or letting it ruin your life, you get to be like, what is this here to teach me? How can I grow from this? How can I move forward from this situation in the best possible way that I come out on top? Can you imagine, like, as moms, especially, like coming out with that kind of perspective, no matter how crazy of a situation that will hit you? That is what I'm very passionate about. And that's what I mean for my own self and anyone I work with. Like, I'm like, you're attached to me, you're gonna be successful. Like that's my goal, my
Ah,
that's the beliefs I'm
love
putting
it.
out there and speaking. And I'm all about us supporting one another. And I love that you bring God into it. I never really was a big church person or anything like that growing up, but he saved me. He saved me from drug addiction. He saved me when I didn't even really know who he was, except I used to look at him as like my only father. He's my heavenly father, kind of treated me like, and he does when you really look at it like that as a parent. And so it's kind of beautiful to have your own like personal relationship. So that's kind of been my journey with that. So I do love how you're able to incorporate that. Like I see that you do like a women's group, like Bible study. I think that's
I
so
do a
cool.
whole bunch of groups
Yeah,
actually.
I
At
love
my
it.
house is at families coming in and out because I'm a big believer, just
Yes.
like you, that
Yes.
we need community. We can't sit
Yes.
behind a screen all day and expect to feel good about
Yes.
ourselves. We're not working in our capacity. And also, I admire you that what your challenge was and you overcame. And
Mhm.
that's a big part of life is sharing that because we need to be real. Like I'm real about the fact that I was molested by my mother's boyfriend as a
Oh,
child, and my
sorry.
mom didn't know what to do with that, and I knew it. So as a little baby, I was like, I have to save mommy, and I can't tell mommy because she'll cry, and I can't tell granny because my granny will probably, shake him, until
Mer-
there's no life left in him. So I
Oh,
was busy. I'm a reformed rescuer. So
oh,
I was
so
busy saving
yeah.
mama and saving grandma. But that right there, our testimony, that's what the Bible tells us, is huge. That's what
Yes.
makes people say, you know what? Uh, I think Ivy's a little real. Definitely Mary's real.
Yeah.
And you'll see that people will plug in because that's what life is about, is helping each other, no matter what, whatever your capacity is. And we all have our giftings. Just
Yeah.
as you sit right there and you tell your truth, you're helping somebody else. Maybe it was me and I'm like, gosh, that reminded me of something,
Yeah.
and I'll go get help about it. I love hiring coaches. I can't speak
Oh,
enough
I
about
think
it.
everyone, I honestly do. I believe everybody needs a
Yes,
coach. Like, I mean, well,
yes.
if you think about like the even just outside of life coaching per se, just having a coach period dot is so needed in this world. When you look at people in sports, you think they got to where they are without having a coach train them, help them, push them past their limits? Because again, if it's left up to you, you're going to be like, okay, maybe I can do it tomorrow, maybe I can do it later, and the next thing you know, you're talked yourself out of it. So I love that, and thank you for sharing that because again, those situations, whether it's like you're dealing with addiction or being abused and things like that, so many people I've seen like have lived in shame around
Yeah,
that. They've lived in
shame
this,
is
yeah,
huge.
and it's
Shame,
like it
shame is
is
almost
huge.
like it's almost like a badge. It's almost like a badge.
Yes. Oh my
And
God.
so when I work with my clients regarding shame, it's just incredible what I will see. Like the other day, I went to help a client and she just couldn't accept the help. It was
Mm,
I could tell that it was the one of the few times that she was really seen.
mm,
Seen, heard, and understood is my tag.
oof.
And so I'm slowly working with her on that and her
Mhm.
steps. You know how it is. It
Yeah.
has to be in their time. And so I'm
Yes.
always watching out for those little cues. But
Yes.
you're absolutely right. It's be real and people will feel it and they
Yes.
will they will respond.
Well, yes, and it's
That's
like we showing up like that and being vulnerable. It's like helping other people give permission to do the same, and so that's why, like, I am always telling like my guest or anyone, like, feel free to share what feels right for you, and like, there is no pre-planned questions on this podcast because I'm like, I just want to. I always pray before I get started, like, Lord Jesus, help us, me and my guests, to say what needs to be heard for someone out there.
Ah,
that gives them the strength to take action, to change their lives, because that's ultimately my goal is I want people to hear these things. I want to be that person who like helps them to turn their lives around because I'm evidence that it's possible. Like I went through a lot of struggles growing up myself that I could have easily stayed in victim mentality. I could have easily been woe is me and lived a life of continuing struggle after struggle after struggle. But then I was like, no, I got to a point where I was just done with that. And then I allowed myself to say yes when the opportunities presented itself. For instance, with life coaching. Life coaching really changed things around for me. And I didn't even know what life coaching was when I first got presented with it. I was like, what is this? But I was like, okay, I'll give it
absolutely.
a go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, thank you, God, for bringing that. That I didn't even realize with me just asking for help. Like sometimes we don't realize, like, you put out there what you ask for, what you want, but then are you gonna be willing to see and look for what shows up next? Because a lot of times that's what the answer could be. Sometimes not, but other times it is. And the more you get in tune with yourself and with your instincts and start learning to trust yourself again. Self-trust is huge of what I teach because when you trust yourself, then you can discern what truly is right for you and what's not. Because there is a lot of stuff going on in this world, and some things are meant, like, just as you believe in God, you probably believe in the devil. And you have to understand he's always going to tempt you and test you, and that's life for you, right? So it's like
Love it.
yeah, it's like you got to be ready for everything. And the more like I said, inner work is huge and really getting the right answers of where you're meant to be and getting you the motivation, the momentum, even just to keep going through all the ups and downs. Like you have seen, you said you have had several successful businesses. And you also, one thing you mentioned earlier that I wanted to tap into, you said you had a coach give you an option to do like this, like short amount of time or this year amount of time. And I would like for you to speak on that because I feel like that is something I see with so many people. We want it now, now, now. We don't want to, the
Ah,
patience isn't there, especially as parents. Lord knows our kids try our patience all the time. So tell me a little, like, share with that with a mom who might be like in the throes of the beginning and feeling like, why isn't this happening now? Like, what's going on? Like, what would you say to
yeah.
her to help her to know that there's a reason why?
I would tell her, Mama, you've got this. That's the first thing. Then I would tell her, go to my workshop. I have business workshops. Every month I have a business workshop, and every month I have a women's workshop. And that's just life coaching, straight up life coaching on big issues. But the workshop for business, I touch on social media trends that work, AI tools that save us time and money, and also the biggest one, how to get and keep clients. So I teach them on the cheap because you don't want to spend money when you're trying to start a business.
Yeah.
And then I tell them, just take your time every day, do something for your business, even if it's a 15-minute prayer. And I love this prayer, and it's really simple. It's Father God, shine your light of truth over all the enemy's lies and deceptions, and give me the strength to endure. And sometimes I find that God will reveal to me I'm the biggest problem. So you have to put a little bit of time
Yeah.
every day. It doesn't have to be a lot,
Yeah.
and turn things around. So here's a question, Mary. Could it be possible that that big scare and oh, I'm stuck and oh, what am I going to do and everything? How about if that really is excitement? Oh, I get to do my website.
Mhm.
There might be somebody in the camp of, oh, I don't want to do tech stuff. Oh, tech stuff is awful. But they're amazing with pictures and video, or they're amazing in writing or in blogging like you, Mary. You've got it down pat. You already have the background and everything.
Yeah.
So go with I tell my clients, go with your giftings first, and that will build momentum for the next step. And then I'm a
Yes.
list girl. So I'm over here with lists and
This.
lists, big believer in lists and processes because that's what gets it done.
Yeah.
And when you see your team doing good, tell them, tell them. I
Oh,
admire
yes.
that. Mary, you're on time. I admire you for
Yeah.
that. I admire your wisdom. You're vulnerable. People gravitate to vulnerability. It's just because that's
Yeah.
our human nature.
Yeah, it is. And I like that you brought up the whole rewarding your team members because as someone who's worked for many people in the past who didn't appreciate you, and it's like employers and business owners out there have it so backwards in understanding like the way you treat your employees is one of the is matters more than anything, because these
Yeah.
are the people who make it possible for you to have what you have. And when you don't treat them right, when you take them for granted, and then you demoralize them. And then the people who are hardworking, who really care, who once would go above and beyond, slowly but surely just stop caring, stop
Yeah.
doing more. And then you
Well,
lose good people. So I just wanted to point that out because I see it so much where people, especially those big old owners, as they grow and grow and grow, that's great to scale. It really is. But don't forget about the people who, and the fact that maybe you were once there too,
yeah,
and I think that's important to touch on because I just know if anyone's listening, if you have a day job as you're working on your business, a lot of times what motivates you to even start your own business sometimes is because of what you're dealing with on your day job. And I get that. I've been there. I've had my struggles with that, and I know what it feels like to work so hard, and yet it's like all they want to focus on is the bad things, the
numbers.
things you did wrong, or just the numbers.
Number.
Yeah, money, money, money. Yep, that's all they care about at the end of the day. You're right. And that's sad. I mean, because again, even the it doesn't matter if you're an amazing person or a bad person, like wealth is wealth. It's out there. There's abundance for everyone, whether it's good or bad. I mean, so it's like you just have to think about yourself and what you're putting out there to attract, and then who you want to be as it comes your way. Because, I think it's just overrated that how awful so many people are treated in today's world and the economy and things like that. And so I just wanted to touch on that. And if you are growing, if you're scaling, don't forget the little guys. Don't, make sure they always feel appreciated and seen. And trust me, it's going to pay off because that's going to motivate them. It's going to make them want to go out there and go above and beyond for you. And it's just a win-win.
Yeah. And if you're a workhorse and you're the workaround person, in other words, you'll figure it out
Yeah.
and come to the boss with it. Like if I'm your secretary
Yeah.
and you had a software that's driving you nuts, and I say, okay, boss, I got it. You go ahead and you put out your fires. I've got this. I think I could do it. And come back to you and tell you, hey, look, it's not only up and running, but here's the three key features that you picked it up, wanting and needing, and I show you that. That's the workaround person. That's the workhorse, the one that you can just dump it in their lap and they go off galloping. They got this.
Yeah.
Yes, that person will always succeed. That person will always succeed in
Yeah.
corporate America, as challenging as it can be and
Yeah.
competitive, right?
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
succeed. And if they do a side hustle and
Oh,
little
yeah.
by little keep pouring into it, because that's what I did. I just poured into it little by little until finally I said, okay, boss man, I really want
Yeah.
to make this thing happen. And all they've been is supportive,
Yes.
incredibly supportive. They gave me a
Yes.
month to be able to move on. And I say all of this so that you can remember that that boss that is kind of difficult or hard to be with or whatever, he goes to bat for you every day too, you know, when there's the corporate meetings and, oh, we have to have layoffs. Because unfortunately, I lived in corporate America and I knew exactly what that was like.
Yeah.
And they'll say, no, but not Mary. Let's find a job for her. No, let's save her because she's the
Yeah.
workaround girl.
Mm-hmm.
She'll figure it out. She always comes back with an answer. She's not well, boss, could you tell me for the 100th time, what was it that you told me the last time?
Ah.
Don't set yourself up.
Yep.
I remember my grandmother, I'm from Puerto Rican background. My grandmother and my mom used to tell me, baby, you take care of your job,
Yeah.
okay? Get that
Yeah.
boss a cup of coffee once a month,
Yeah.
whatever it takes, bring him a little candy and say, I thought of you and I just really appreciate you. And the same goes the boss for the employee.
Oh, I love
Hey, you
that.
know what? You did
Hmm.
an amazing, you really made us look good with that client. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I wasn't on my best game. I had a headache, and you and
Hmm.
Mary, you just filled in the
Yeah.
whole thing. That guy, let me show you the, I don't know, the letter of
Yes.
appreciation that the
Yeah.
client sent. Yeah, it
That's
goes
awesome.
both
It
ways.
does. I love that. And thank you for pointing that out because sometimes you're right. It's so easy to get stuck in the whole like, I feel miserable, so I'm just going to give up. And this is where you're right, perspective. And my worth ethic has always been strong. no matter
Yeah.
what. So one thing my
Oh,
mom
I
put
can
in me,
tell.
and it's so funny because I'm half Puerto Rican. My dad's from Puerto
Look at
Rico.
you.
So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know
Juanito.
I don't see that very often here. So I love it. I love it. So yeah, I know. And so it's like, but that's one thing my mom put in me was like, I mean, strong worth ethics. I'm the kind of person like I'm on it. Like I'm so
Yeah.
fast sometimes. I'm like, Mary, slow down. I'm like, slow down a little
Yeah.
bit of it. I love it though because I you know what? That's the one thing about me. It's like I will never change that, and I don't ever want to because, like you say, I didn't even think about it like that. Like that's what
Yeah.
makes you successful. Like that's who I
Yeah.
am, and I'm not gonna shy away regardless of how someone may or may not treat me because it's who I am. And you're
Yeah.
right. When you get to put that into something that you love, your own business, oh, it's so rewarding, and
It
it's
is
it
amazing.
really is. It
And
really
here's
is.
my question. What kind of example are your kids seeing, right?
Exactly. A huge part.
Motivating, like, wow, my mom could
Yes.
do it. Guess what? I
So
can
can
do it too.
oh yes, it is a huge part of my why. I mean, I want my kids to believe that anything is possible for themselves. I want them to believe in their creativity, like in their uniqueness too. I want them to love themselves for who they are and so much that they don't get influenced by the external like society and the world and what tries to tell them who they should be. So I want that for my kids. I want that for myself and anyone who's listening. That's why I'm so passionate because it starts with the mom. They're always watching, right? And so I just want to have these examples like, through these conversations of like how everyone's doing it differently, but yet at the same time, we're all one. We're all oneness. We're all connected. We're all striving for that freedom and for that joy and the peace and the love and the fulfillment of who are we? Who do we
Yeah.
want to be? And who do we get to be, right? How powerful is that? It's just such a fun journey if you allow it to be.
I love what you just said, who we get to be. Think of it also this way. I get to do this. How cool is that? We could be sitting in corporate America filing something because someone still believes in filing or whatever's going on. You know what I mean? And taking your ideas and presenting them to clients and never saying, you know what, it really
Yeah,
was Mary over there that figured this one out. you know? So
exactly.
to be able to sit in this moment in time and say, I am a business owner and I am going to fight like I fought, like I said in the beginning,
Yes.
for my first breath of life. I'm a fighter. I'm a
Yeah.
workaround girl. I'll figure it out. I
Shoot,
talked
just
to one of my clients. I talked to one of my clients. She was adorable.
oh,
Just got out of school. Just got her professional. Okay, it's called licensed professional counselor. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to be a therapist.
I love that.
And she was talking about a difficult case that they were studying in school. And I said, well, what would you do if you had a case like that now? And she looked me right in the eye, leaned in, and you know what she said? I'll figure it out. That's a
Yes.
fighter. That's a workaround girl.
Yeah.
That is a workhorse. You
Yes.
figure it out. You don't, oh,
Yes.
I don't know what to do, boss,
Oh.
or client, I don't know
Well,
even.
we're so set up for success as moms, even because think about it. Like
Yeah,
when you,
yeah,
especially when you become a first time mom, it's like it is all about figuring it out. You can have all the advice you want, but at the end of the day, your baby is your baby. It's got its own personality, its own thing, and you are figuring it out. And yes, you know what we do? We do it. We're
yeah.
bosses. We don't give ourselves enough credit of the fact that we have those months of no sleep and feedings like every couple hours and the diaper changes and we don't
Hey,
ever stop and realize like we're already doing all the things just for being a mom. And so it's like imagine putting that into action in a business and learning a lot again, figuring it out and just having that mentality like, okay, I will find the way one way or another. And let me tell you, so many people are doing it in so many different ways. So just know that what's possible for them is possible for you. That's what tell myself whenever you see those people who are constantly like comparing to like, well,
uh-uh.
look at her life, look at how
Don't
she's
do
doing.
it.
Okay, well, wait, you know what? If it's possible for her, then it's possible for you too. It may not look exactly like that, but that's okay. That's what's cool. But you get
Absolutely.
to go explore that, right? And I love that so much. And it's so beautiful that you had like that opportunity with her. And you know she's a go-getter, and that's going to take her very far in life, right there on her journey. If she keep, especially being so young, I love to see that in the younger generation,
Oh,
because that's
yeah.
something I'm also really passionate about. It's like that helping that younger generation to not wait until like
And you
us,
can
like
always go back.
right, you know.
You can always learn something new. Look at me.
Oh,
I'm
girl.
going to be 60 this year, and I went back to school, got my degree. I'm going to go study to be a therapist because I keep seeing that in my life. Like God keeps putting people in front of me that I could help that way.
See,
It's
that's
never too
beautiful.
late.
It's
Never too
never too late. Yes, I mean, I just interviewed someone who is about to be 68 and she's just kind of restarting her life over again at 68.
late.
And it's like, okay, that is, again, there's so much available and it doesn't matter where you're on your journey. And I think it's amazing that you decide to do this and go after that, especially when you feel a calling that you
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, it's
And
powerful. And you know what? It's our human nature to progress. It's like
yeah.
even if you're just watching a movie, you're going to think, okay, it finished, the movie finished. I'd like to see another one kind of like that. Or I finished a book. I'd like to read another one.
Oh,
That's our
yes.
human nature. We want to keep moving forward. What do you think
Yes.
about that?
I love that because I think so many people are so focused on like that end result, the end goal, and like when they arrive, and I'm like, okay, but even when you get there, like, don't get me wrong, celebrate. Yes, awesome, great. But also,
Right.
I'm that kind of person that I'm like, well, what's next? Like, I've reached this point in my life. Heck yeah, I'm going to take the time and embrace it, celebrate it, even the small wins. But then at the same time, I want to keep going. I want to see what's available next for me. If this was possible and I reached it, oh yeah, that means now I've actually built up the confidence, the experience, the awareness, the growth in me to now step into a new season. And I think that's exciting, honestly, because that means that even when you arrive to what you originally set out to do, it's not like, okay, that's it. Bye, I'm done. You know what I mean? So
No,
I
you don't
love
want to
that.
do that, and
Yeah.
especially when kids are watching. And guess what happens after kids is grandchildren. And look at what grandma's doing. Oh my gosh, look how cool.
Yes.
Grandma Mary just bagged another business.
Yeah.
They
Yes, I love it.
and you know, I'm a big believer in whatever certifications or anything that you have, put it up in your office.
Mhm.
That's very motivating for the next generation. It is
Yes.
important to have an education, have a story, be able to add to conversations and not just sit there, you know, expect the world to entertain you. Be
Yeah.
able to meet people where they're at.
Well, I mean, I think, to a sense, it's like, aren't we all striving to figure out our purpose? And it's like, you're so many people who just like you ask them, what is it that you want? And they have no idea. And it breaks my heart because a part of me knows that I think it's more of like you're just not willing to say what you want because you're afraid that you're not allowed it. And I see that so many times, or people are so lost within the autopilot of their lives that they don't really allow themselves to explore what that might actually, like, what do you want? And
Yeah.
and then being flexible.
That's where the cheer team comes in. That's where
Exactly.
somebody like Mary, hello,
Or
having
Ivy.
somebody like you
Yeah.
in my ear, my gosh, I would be so motivated. So
Yeah.
find that cheer team, everybody, even if
Mhm.
it's one person. I prefer three. And mamas, always have your girl time. What do you think about
Always.
that, Mary?
Oh God, yes. Always, always. I still to this day meet with a couple of girls every other week, and which kind of ends up being like weekly with all the because I'm like that. The community is everything. It keeps me going. It's wonderful to get to show up and to talk things out, to talk about what's going on, what's working, what's doing great, but also like what's not working, where can and get some feedback. Sometimes people have some amazing ideas that you just didn't. That's what I do for my clients. Like I literally had a client the other day when I was working with her, and she was like, kind of she's struggling to figure out like how to pitch herself. And I was like, you know what? Tell me a little bit about what you love about your business. And the way she just let it all out. And I was like, do you hear the way you're talking? I said, that's what people are looking for. They want to feel what your products, how they make them feel.
Yeah,
Not that it is what it is. It's about how does it make them feel? What do they get because they received this in the mail? And it was
yeah.
so beautiful getting to like have her walk through that, and it's just her energy too. I was like, the way you're doing that. So like when she does like certain videos and things like that, it's like sometimes you can see where she's just like trying to read and say what she thinks she says. Like, no, girl, just they first of all declutter your brain because you know how it is when we have our
Oh, I
beliefs
love
and our
that.
thoughts, yeah,
Say that again. Say that
declutter
again.
that brain,
I love
yeah,
that.
because it's like it's true, especially when it comes to recording. Oh my gosh, you overthink all the time. So I always say people take some time to like let that out, figure out how you're feeling, what you're believing, and release that, and then choose be like, you know what? I'm about to share something that I know so many people need and want and are excited to pay for, excited to show up for, that will change their lives, that will help them in so many ways. And
I
then you hit record from that energy. And then let it come out. Like, let it be natural. Like, and it's like, I just love helping people in that way. And even like simplifying their business. Like, I'm a one woman show right now in my business. And yeah, I look forward to when I can get a team, and that's okay. I'm trusting the process, and I'm believing in it unfolding exactly as it's meant to. And I've learned to be so grateful because I self-taught myself how to edit a website,
What?
how to do email. Yes, I self-taught myself how to edit a podcast, how to do all these things, and how to
Nice.
do my email list and all these. I create freebies, I do landing pages, all of it. I completely had to
Woo.
self-teach myself all of these things. And you know what? Now will I have such an appreciation for who I get to eventually pass it
Yes,
on to,
the
be like, hey, they're taking,
baton.
but I will have such an appreciation for them and their time and their work because I get it and I see what goes into it. And I mean, again, it's rewarding because you also learn a lot about yourself and what you're capable of, and what's all involved in all the hats that you have to wear when being an entrepreneur. And I just want to help people see how you can simplify it too and make it so possible. And I love like helping people if they have struggle with tech because I'm a tech girl. So I also have that yeah, me too. I'm like, I will help you in any way that I can because
Yeah.
I never want that to stop anyone from going after what they deserve.
Absolutely. When I
Yeah.
have my workshops, like the one I'm going to have this
Yes.
Thursday and Friday, the business one,
Mhm.
at the end, I tell them, okay, let's hop on websites. Show me what you're struggling with. I would
Yeah.
even got on the state of Florida website to help one of my
Yeah.
clients. I'm like, whatever it takes, I just want you to
Yeah.
succeed. And then she was thrilled. I saved her $500. She was going to
Ah,
hire somebody. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll take care of everything. And I told her, no, sweetie, this service is free. And she was so happy. She was
wow.
$500. I mean, for me, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
So,
no, I get it. Trust me. I mean, it's like, I get it. And then when you're first getting started, there is a lot that goes into
oh,
that. But there's
yeah.
also what's one of the things I was reflecting about like things that you always think about, like, I wish I knew this when I started my business. Like, and for me,
Ah,
I really wish I had just invested in mindset and identity work. I honest to God believe that is like where everybody should start because until you have the true grounding beliefs behind you of who you are and what you're doing, it doesn't matter the strategy. Like you could be told, you
absolutely.
could be given the most perfect blueprint of like what business owners are doing that's working for them. But if you don't have that belief behind you, like, oh, I'm telling you right now, we get in our way so much.
Oh,
And that I got
oh
in my
my
way
goodness.
so much at the beginning. And like, and now
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing to moms. That's what I'm building behind the scenes because I want a place and also that's consistent. I've been in so many programs in the past where it's like you work for a certain time or you're available with them for a certain time. And then it's like, all right, bye, good luck. And I'm like, no, like I like consistency and I believe in that community, like you say. And I want to have a space where like moms can come no matter what part of their season journey they're on, and they have a place that they can always have coaching, have support from other moms, and just people to turn to, somewhere to always turn to no matter what. And
Yeah.
within that, we're going to be focusing a lot on mindset, identity work, business, all the things, nervous system regulation, all the important stuff that's going to help you just to show up as the best version of yourself, because that
Oh,
is where it's at. And that's what's going to allow you to get the frequency that, like, when you put it out there to God and the universe, to be like, okay, I got this. And now you can trust that it's going to come in the right timing and be okay with that.
yeah. I love that you said frequency. That's
Yes,
huge.
that is
And even
huge.
the simplest thing that you can bring on your game, like
Mhm.
I did the peppermint oil,
Oh,
that's huge
yes.
for the brain. Even tuning forks. Remember back in the
Oh,
old day,
yeah. Uh-huh.
tuning forks, I help people with that. This is why I want to go into therapy as well.
Yeah.
Business because it's in my blood. I've been in business for 30 plus years.
Well, you
But
should be.
therapy, so I would be able, like I have my diffuser going,
Oh, I
all
love
these little
that.
things, they set your mind exactly like you're saying.
Mm.
And so my office is so peaceful that my family will come in and just sit here and they
Oh,
think, oh, well, it's just because it's, comfortable. No, it's because I have things going on here. This is my prayer room. When I speak
yes.
into it, that's huge. When you
Yeah.
walk into your office, bless it. Thank you, Father God, for this
Yeah.
opportunity. Give me wisdom,
Oh,
discernment, all these cool things. I
I
just
love
love
it.
talking to you. You have
Ah!
so many wonderful, wonderful ideas. And I love that you're uplifting the moms.
Oh.
Moms are huge. Moms are the matriarchs.
Moms, you
They're
are
the ones that
everything.
they set the tone. If mama's not happy, you finish that one, right?
Oh yes, oh yes, I know that.
Yeah,
See,
we
I know
make it
that all too
happen.
well. Literally, a mom can walk in the door and you can just feel it in her energy, whether she's in a good mood or not. And like, that's again, that's something I want to help us with because again, the more we practice, like catching those moments and things like that, the more powerful we get to decide and choose differently.
Yeah,
And, instead of being reactive, we get to learn how to be responsive. And then we're teaching our kids that too with their own emotions that they're learning and figuring out as they get older. So it's like, I think it's a beautiful win-win. And I don't know about you, but I just don't like getting into that reactive state. And I've been there enough in my life. And
oh
I've
yeah,
looked back and I'm like, ooh, I could have handled that better. And now I have such a, like, because I'm practiced, I see how amazing it is to be like, I can feel when I'm about to get to that. But instead, this time, instead of letting it get to me or control me and dictate how I respond, I get to be like,
yeah.
breathe. God, I'm telling you, you don't even realize how powerful breathing
Breathing.
is.
Oh, breathing is huge. Breathing
Yes.
is huge. I sit here sometimes and I think, wait a minute, did I take a deep breath? Like this morning, one of my clients put something on my desk and they're like, "Oh, we don't know what to do with this." And I'm like, I always tell them the same thing. I got this. Don't worry. You're okay. I got this.
Yes.
And it took me so long to do. But you think I'm gonna go tell them that?
No.
Not at all. Here you go, boss. Have a nice day.
There
And they're
you go.
thrilled. Like they
There you
didn't have
go.
to hear anything. Mindset,
Yes,
huge. I'm glad you mentioned that.
it
You have
is.
to set the tone at the beginning of my day right away. I do my little prayer. Father
Oh,
God, be with me, help
hmm.
me. You're the one who knows everyone that you're going to bring into my circle right now.
Yeah,
Give me discernment, give me wisdom. This is huge. And
it
you
is.
prepare yourself and sleep.
Yes. Oh,
Sleep. You gotta sleep. If you
whew.
can,
That's yeah.
even naps. I'm a big believer
Oh,
in naps. Every once in a while, I just need to recharge, or
yes.
I'll take a minute and go out in my backyard and sun myself with my three doggies.
Yes.
And then I come back and I'm Susie Sunshine. I'm ready to go. And I'm like, okay, what's the next project? Yeah.
Yes, it's such
Because people
it's
pick up on
powerful.
that.
They
What
do,
do you
and it's
think?
powerful. Yes. I mean, well, it helps you too, instead of pushing through and forcing it, and then that's what causes a lot of the burnout and the overwhelm. But when you allow yourself to have those rests and the resets and the recharges, that's everything. And letting even the downloads show up. I've had times where I'm like, I could sense that I was really stressed out, really frustrated, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop what I'm doing and just take a moment to like relax, enjoy myself, even if it's okay. I need to take a moment to put on some TV to just de-escalate and whatever. And it's like powerful because
You
then
are
it's like
so
the next
funny.
thing, yeah, well, the next thing I know, all of a sudden, like an idea will pop in my head, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't think about that. And then bam, I'm back at it, and it's like, it's go time.
Yeah, that's the best time. When I get my ideas is when I'm finally quiet, usually
Yes.
early morning when I'm just waking up. And if I feel any kind of stress, I'm a big magnesium girl, L-theanine, my essential oils, my diffuser. Getting in the
Gosh,
sun is huge. Going for a morning walk and not solving anything, just going. Huge.
it
We
is.
have to decompress. We can't
Absolutely.
pour in to anything if our cup is empty. What do you
Exactly.
think? What do you think?
Absolutely. It's everything I'm about right now. It's everything I want moms to give themselves permission to do because too many moms feel guilty taking that kind of time. And I felt like that too. I used to feel like if I stopped or slowed down, then I'm going to get behind. And it's like, nope,
Yeah,
nope. Girl, no, it's so opposite of what we were taught and what we're conditioned to believe. And it's so powerful when you start really recognizing that and shifting. It's everything. So I love doing like I said, again, I'm just grateful to God that He even is allowing me to be right now in this place in my life to have these conversations, to meet the people that I'm meant to meet, to serve those that I'm meant to serve, and just get to have this kind of message out there. And I just
love
pray that
it.
it reaches the right ears and that it brings and attracts the right people for me so that I can help them on their journeys. So, yay, I love it.
Oh yeah. And you know the ugly sister of exhaustion, right? Because moms operate on exhaustion is resentment.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And how many
Deep
moms can,
resentment, like these kids have no idea what I'm doing from this husband of mine, or oh my gosh, this neighbor, and it's like
yeah.
if you don't do your girl time, your
Hmm.
nap every once in a while, nice walk. What else would you suggest to bring that exhaustion and resentment down.
Yes, I mean, well, but that's it for everyone. It can look differently, but like you say, being outside,
It's
taking those
huge.
pauses, those moments, to even just do some breath work, some meditation's great, yoga's great. I mean, there's so many different things that you could implement and try. Journaling, I always recommend journaling because let me tell you, even if you can't, if you don't have time to write it or type it out, get your phone, put your audio recorder, hit record, and let it out, you guys. I've done that so many times, and it is so powerful because yes, at first it's kind of like me venting, but the next thing I know, it's like in the moment I am shifting and be like, but you know what? I'm going to overcome this. I got this. I'm going to be this and that. I'm believing in this. And it's like you get to now go from this like moment of like, I was feeling this, and now I'm like, I'm empowered and I'm like, yeah, I got this. And I'm just like almost your own reminder, your own self coaching that we do, right? So I always recommend that for sure. Like if you're really like needing to let something off and you're not in a place where you can talk to somebody or that you're able to, go get your phone out and just let it out on there. And then like look back at it too. It can be really powerful to see how you can shift from that and just release it. Feel so much
Yeah.
better.
Here's another one is the internal dialogue, the negative
Oh,
internal dialogue. I was working with a client and hers was get it together, get it together.
mm,
And I have many exercises that I give as a life coach, but one of them is bringing her back to her 5-year-old self and describing herself. And she, amazing memory, she down to the hairstyle and shoes.
yes.
And after we walked through that, I said, okay, would you ever tell that little one if she came up to you and said, I'm really having a hard day, I'm frustrated, whatever's going on, would you ever tell her, get it together, suck it up? And
Gosh.
she's like, oh, no. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's what you need to remember the next time you hear that voice that says, get it together. And then
Yes.
the next question, there's two. The second question is, when did you first hear that voice?
That's exactly what popped in my head is who taught her that? Who said that to her? Poor girl, probably at that 5-year-old that she doesn't even realize that it was said to her. And therefore, there
Yeah.
you go. Because it's so
We we
instilled in
come
us.
we come into agreement with
Yeah.
the most ridiculous things because we're
Yeah.
just babies. Look at
Yeah.
what I came into agreement with being molested by this idiot.
Yeah.
And I
Oof.
couldn't share. And it's like Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate says, the trauma wasn't what he did to me. The trauma was that I didn't share it with anybody. And so I sat with that with a 3 and 5-year-old mind. What do you do with that?
I know. Oh
So
God.
it's very powerful. What's going on in your mind? When did you come
Yes.
into agreement with that? That's the spiritual realm too, because the enemy's going to fill our minds like crazy. You
Yeah.
should hear him in the morning when I'm in my flannel pajamas and I'm just getting ready in the morning with my hair all messed up. And he's like, you're old, you're fat, you're ugly, nobody likes you. Notice these are all my giftings. You're old? No, I'm not. I could live to 120 years according to the Bible. You're fat. I'm relatable. Fat means relatable.
You're definitely
You're
not
old,
fat.
what's the other one? You're old, you're fat, you're ugly. And oh, nobody likes you. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, who doesn't want to sit with a life coach and talk?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
notice that it's
Hmm.
attacking your giftings. It's
Oh.
probably a voice that you came in agreement with when you were little.
Yeah. Yes. Or
So
even
just
that you heard someone that meant a lot to you saying those things about themselves. That's another reason why I'm big on the self-talk because, it's one of my, because I love inner heal child, inner child healing. I love that exercise. It changed so much because now I have two versions of myself that I go back to all the time in certain instances that really help me
oh
reconnect
yeah.
to that part of me whenever she shows up. Because oh Lord, she always likes to show up. Don't they like to show up? But it's like I get to love on
Oh,
that instead of
so
being
cute.
resistant or be like, go away. I don't got time for you. It's more of like now I give her the attention and the love that she didn't have back then that she needed. That's another really powerful way to do that
That is
because
so powerful. Good for you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I have another exercise. You
Oh,
want to try?
please. Yes, yes,
This
yes.
one's super easy.
Okay.
So, you know the filters, the aging filters that you can put over your face to see
Mm-hmm.
what you look like. And so I did that and I printed it and I use it as an exercise. And I
Yeah.
tell people, you can age gracefully, right? And unpack with God and figure out these voices you came into agreement with, why you say these negative things and all of that. Or you can do this earlier.
Ah, oh my goodness. Hold on. There you go. Oh my goodness.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yes. There it is. There it is. It was like in and out, in and out. I know how that is with the backgrounds.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's
Wow. No,
better
no,
in
no.
person,
Oh yeah.
but
No.
that's an amazing
Yeah.
graphic because one, there's three wonderful things when you use that exercise. It's an awesome visual. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, it reminds you why you're drinking water, going for walks, doing, meditating,
Yeah.
all of these wonderful things for ourselves. And three, it reminds you of what you will ultimately be, right? If you take care of yourself. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to happen earlier. So
Yes.
unpack with God,
Mm.
be authentic, stop with the shame game, figure out what that's all about, and the negative talk that keeps us from running our business effectively, coming into agreement with the enemy. He's a defeated foe. Why would you want to listen to the defeated team? There's
Exactly.
never a line of reporters wanting to find out how the losing team managed to lose.
I
It's
love that.
always the winning team that gets all of the glory.
Oh
So
my God.
encourage
That, you know what? I have to be that. That is like the final, because I always say, like, is there a final piece of advice? But I feel like for that, that couldn't be better as a final piece to give out to the audience to hear today. And I want to end with you. If anyone's listening and they feel they resonate with you and they want to learn more about your workshops and how they can get connected with you, where would you send them? Where would you say is the best place for them to find out more about you?
it's to my site. We teach business insights. WeTeach.com. We teach bi.com.
Oh, I
And
love
it's
that.
amazing. There's free giveaways. There's a little power up for your business to see where
Ah.
you're at. If that's free, then the workshops that are coming, like this one next Thursday or Friday.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I definitely am going to have everything in the show notes for the audience. And regardless of when this premieres, you said you do these every month, right?
I do it every month. Yeah. I just have to,
Wonderful. So,
yeah.
yes, so go
And it's
check it
only 30,
out.
they're only $35.
Oh, wow. Okay, come
Yeah.
on. Go support someone, a fellow coach mom, and go check it out because it could be everything you need for yourself and where your journey is right now to learn something. I mean, you don't know until you know, right? So that's what's like, take advantage of those resources, especially one like that you can just receive information that could help you make a decision that could change everything for you. Think of it like that. That's how powerful that could be.
Absolutely.
Well, Ivy, I want to thank you for everything that you do, for being the incredible person that you are, and for just taking the time to come and talk and share all that you did, the vulnerability of your story and what you went through. And then look at you. You're a powerhouse. You're amazing. You're the example of like how you can take something that was so horrific that you didn't deserve happening to you, and instead of like you didn't let him win. Because
No.
look at you now. And it's like that's why I love to encourage people like don't let them win because they
Yeah.
win when you live in that victim mindset
Oh,
for the rest
true.
of your life rather. So you are a beautiful example of that. And I'm just so excited to see where God takes you next.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe below, follow along, and always leave a comment. Tell me what was your favorite takeaway. What are some things that are coming up for you through these conversations? I really love to hear from my listeners and know that I'm always here for you. If anyone listening is ready to take action and really follow through and implement the goals that you set out for, as well as work on that mindset and really step into your full potential and the CEO of your life, then I invite you, schedule your free 1 hour limitless mom strategy call with me while they're available. And let's explore where you are, where you want to be, and how we can bridge that gap together. I can't thank you all enough for tuning in each week. Always remember, until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and can keep believing in everything that is available for you, mama. You are worthy, you deserve it, and I'm so grateful to be walking this journey alongside you. Much love.